This video is for Anne so that she can see my garden even though she couldn't be here this past Labor Day weekend when we got married. This is my front porch. I hate talking on these things, but I'll try not to talk too much. This is the front yard. Gotta have a flag. This is the front of the house. It's a beautiful, maybe 70-degree day today. Lots of hydrangeas. I used a lot of Miracle-Gro this summer, and the window boxes loved it. We have some flamingos that we brought from Florida. Wheelbarrow I picked up on the side of the road. Had a deck built after I moved in. Has a hot tub. This is the first perennial bed. Flowers, there's not too many of them this year, at least this time of year. Most perennials are done flowering, but I do have a few roses that are still blooming. This rose is called At Last. It's a prolific bloomer. Foxglove. Most of my roses, a lot of them are David Austin roses. That's the first perennial bed. Back in the house, on the side. We moved the lawn chairs away from the fire pit because Rick mowed the lawn yesterday. This is the second perennial bed where I have my, what I call my chihuly, because they're glass balls. I love his artwork, so I tried to copy it, some of it, for my yard. This garden needs some work. It's under construction because I've had a terrible weed called Canada thistle, which is in here, which is dying slowly. I bought some expensive chemicals to get rid of it. There's another David Austin rose. This is another David Austin rose. Okay, that's another perennial bed here. But I'll go this way. This fence is lined with feverfew and daylilies, New Dawn roses. It's a climbing rose. Huge. There's my Starry Starry Night that I painted. The Black-Eyed Susans, this is the second year they've been here. This is my she shed, of course, and it has to have a flower box. Behind it is a picking garden. There's another perennial bed, which I believe has 5 roses. Oh, these ones are finishing up. And that's a cream colored rose. It's a David Austin. There's a really bright pink one which is about to bloom soon, but not yet. barn. My fence just got tons of roses around it. This is another David Austin rose. And this is a carpet rose. And there's my very she shed. Made with a lot of recycled things, materials, stuff I picked up on the side of the road. Futon, skylight, black fabric on the ceiling because underneath the fabric is fairy lights that go on at night that blink like stars. There's my picking garden in the back. There's a platform that we got married on. Okay, back out. Rick put drainage down underneath all those lake stones. There's my picking garden. Did you hear those hummers? They're everywhere. Rick made the gate for me. We made a stained glass out of a leaded window. Butterflies, hollyhocks. My picking garden that I don't really do a lot of picking in right now. This was all weeds when I met Rick. And he helped me build this. All these are hollyhocks. I started from seed. Inside the picking garden are dahlias, snapdragons, zinnias, cosmos, all kinds of zinnias, tons of sunflowers in the back. My favorite, I have to have delphiniums. There will be tons of those next year. That's a perennial. Glads. Listen to those bees. There's the platform that Rick built, which is going to be the bottom of a gazebo someday. Next year. And over here is my meadow garden. Someone built a bench for me. Rick cleaned it up. And the meadow garden is full of very tall and short flowers. I'd walk to the back, but I don't have my shoes on, and there's a lot of Canada thistle back there. But you can get an idea. The birds and the hummingbirds love it this year. And there's where we got married. Rick is going to make a greenhouse underneath the lean next year for me. This is more picking garden. The soil was really bad out here, so I moved most of it behind the she shed. I'm going to have hundreds of irises next year. They're mostly all hybrid Siberian irises, not Siberian, Shriners. I get them from in Oregon. This will be my perennial bed. One row of perennials next year. There's lots of peonies in here. There's irises. There'll be tulips, daffodils. And there's the picking with cosmos and zinnias. And Rick's gonna bring water, trench water through here and electric to the she shed. Must have overlooked my very she shed mailbox. All I had to do was say, wouldn't that be cool? And sure enough, Rick made it for me. I am so blessed, beyond what I deserve. And what else have we got? More perennial beds. Not a lot of perennials blooming this time of year, mostly annuals. There's a David Austin that I have to pull out because it has a disease that will spread to my other roses. And then here's another painting I painted. And because it's full of color, I tried to put a lot of color underneath it. Here's my vegetable bed. And then Rick is going to build a platform. He wanted a deck, but it will obstruct the view out the back window. We're going to put in some windows we bought on Marketplace. The big pane windows in the back so we can overlook the garden. So there's going to be a platform so he doesn't have to level the ground. And we can eat out here by the vegetable garden. And then we have this to do. He's going to build a pergola at some point. And we have wisteria that's going to grow over it. Almost done. There's my barn quilt I painted. It's 6'4" by 6'4". Rick just did the blacktop before the wedding. This garden needs a little attention. It's under construction. See? Under construction. And I guess lastly would be my back entrance. I love to sit out here in the winter when the sun is shining. Warms up the room. And we're going back to the front porch. Back to the front porch. I have a mulberry tree here that's full of fairy lights at night. They're in jars, mason jars. You buy the lids and the lights and the tops on Amazon. And then at nighttime, They light up, they're solar. Rick loves them. He went and bought some for his house right after he saw mine. He loves to sit on the front porch. It's his favorite place in the morning. And there you have it. My place in 15 minutes.